All right, what's the first thing I teach embodiment coaches? The first tool for you guys to learn today? Centering. Okay. Why? It's a rhetorical question. So why do I teach centering first of all? Because that's state regulation. So if my client, in this case Jeffrey, technical term, if he's all fucked up, he's not going to come up with very good responses. I could ask him the best coaching question in the world. If he's stuck in a fight-flight response, he's just not going to be very clever, very creative. He's not going to be very kind to himself. He's going to be very conservative. He's going to go back to his old ideas. The whole point about coaching is to have new ideas, okay? To be creative, to be a little kinder, a little smarter, right? Everyone agree with that? That like it's good coaching. Be smart, be kind, be creative. Yeah. So if he's in a state that gets in the way of being smart, kind, and creative, I need to change that, all right? So otherwise I'm just wasting my time and his, right? It's completely pointless. Often what you'll see is in coaching is someone comes very stressed, and if they're not, most people are stressed when they arrive kind of in my office or on the phone, but if they're not, as soon as they start talking about their problems, they get stressed. Because by definition, like no one's coming to coaching and saying my life's perfect, everything's fine. They're coming and saying I want to spend some money because I've got a problem, right? So given that, that's almost certainly going to be something stressful, not always, but nearly always. So they either come stressed, just because the modern world is bloody stressful for most people, most of the people that can afford me, certainly they're a stressful job. And if they're not stressed when they arrive, just because of the world, they are as soon as they start talking about their problem. So what normally happens is the coaching session, the first 10 minutes is just the coach co-regulating the coachee, completely unconsciously and not very effectively. Right, just by being nice to them and saying, "Oh, it's nice to see you again, Jeffrey," and how's blah blah blah. That's a waste of time. Yeah, I do short coaching sessions, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maximum 30 minutes. Most of my clients are very busy. I'd rather, if I want to make that time more efficient, I spend maybe 1 minute centering. So centering just means a state regulation technique. Normally it's a down regulation technique, but not always. This just means they come up with a better coaching question. My experience as a coach is that the better the coaching question, the better the coaching. Is that other coaches' experience? That's like 50% of the work, actually. Yeah. So how do I do that for myself, for him? Maybe the centering is for me too. Who knows? Maybe I had a nightmare client. Maybe I just had a stressful marketing meeting. That's pretty common for me. Whatever's going on in the world on the TV, I've just looked at. Oh my God, there's a president. Oh, scary. Yeah, something's going on, which may be necessary for me to be optimal for him. I'd say that's an ethical thing too. If he's paying me money, I want to be maybe not the best I can possibly be, but I want to be pretty good. I want to be like the version of Mark Walsh that can work effectively. Okay, so it's for me, and it's for him, and it's for the coaching. You don't have to overthink it. How do we sharpen the saw before we cut down the tree? Any kind of basic body awareness, self-regulatory tool. Right? Like most people, they come, they're stressed. You could literally be like, take 3 deep breaths. Now, if the client does this, now I might have to give more specific instructions, okay? But assuming this client's done a bit of yoga or meditation, which these days, even, a lot of business executives, they've done something, actually, a bit of martial arts, a bit of yoga, that might be enough. Yeah, now, of course, I can be doing this without speaking. If the client's very conservative or, closed-minded to certain things, I can just be centering myself. So I can say, "Hey, Jeffrey, it's really nice to see you. I like your orange t-shirt." And what I'm doing is I'm regulating my own state and I'm infecting him with that. Does that make sense? So I can literally be like, bananas, bananas, bananas. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. What matters is I'm not agitated. Like I've got a bit of a bright light in my eyes. I'm being filmed. My stress is like 2 out of 10 maybe. It's not... Okay, now it's like a 1, right? We can take it down, and it doesn't, you feel that? Like it doesn't really matter what I'm saying. What matters is I'm present, relaxed, in my body, relaxing my belly a little bit. So that's an implicit centering. So I'm centering myself, he's getting the benefit. So this isn't like nasty manipulation. I'm doing something which is gonna make him smarter, kinda more creative, yeah? Can I use touch? Well, it depends on the client, right? I quite like to shake hands, just normal thing. One thing I'm doing there is I'm feeling his stress level. Yeah, so it's just a normal gesture. It's a socially appropriate thing to do if I'm working face to face, not always. And like, if he's agitated, I can kind of, you can kind of feel it. And I go, okay, we're definitely doing centering. Some clients, I don't even let them speak before we do centering. I'm like, shh. You're talking shit. Do some centering first. Other clients, they'll come, oh, hi, Mark, the thing. And I'll go, okay. Learn to interrupt stress people. It's not kind to let them continue generate more stress. Yeah, it's like, okay, hang on a minute, take a breath. Simple things. Put your feet on the ground. His feet are already on the ground, but it means he feels his feet. Yeah, relax your belly. Okay, tense your belly and then relax it again. Now, some female clients or certain cultures, I wouldn't say that. Okay, it might be like not the right instructional image. Yeah, soften the jaw. Yeah, peripheral vision, so you can see both my fingers. Take a couple of deep breaths so your tummy moves like a baby as you breathe in. All right. Think of someone who makes you smile. All right. Now tell me, what do you want to get from today's session? It's very different than just letting him roll. See how quick that is? 30 seconds, 1 minute. We're not closing our eyes and doing a 5-minute meditation here. It's not necessary. It could just be, okay, John, nice to see you, feet on the ground. Remember that thing we did last week? Okay, soften the jaw. Say, ah. All right, what are we working on today? What was that, 15 seconds? Yeah? Okay, simple ones. ABC centering, lots of videos of skinny young Mark on the internet doing that if you want to see how long I've been doing that for. Okay, A, awareness, feel your body. Balance your posture, so you're upright, you're not leaning to one side, you're nice and balanced. Relax the eyes, the mouth, the belly, the whole center line. And we could add another C, connected. Think of someone who makes you smile. All right. Okay, what are we working on today? See how easy that is? You don't need to make it weird. All right, it's not like a bad example, okay, Jeffrey, I'm gonna make too much eye contact because I've been around the yoga people. I want you to open your anal chakra. Like, this is gonna make him more stressed if he's just a normal human being, right? Okay, so we're using appropriate language, operational language. I don't say, empty your mind, right? I might say, pay attention to your breath as the air goes in and out of your nose. Okay, relax your jaw. I'm modeling, I'm showing him by doing it. I'm not, okay, try and relax, right? Like what I do, how I do it's more important even than what I say. Yeah, I'm using relaxed tone, it's a down tone. This is down regulation. If the client was very tired, we might need to do up regulation. So Jeffrey, can you slump in your chair? Imagine you had a long day, you're depressed. All right, Jeffrey, nice to see you. So it looks like you're a bit knackered. I'm observing the state. Okay, this is probably not an optimal state for the coaching. He's a little bit too sleepy. All right, so sit up in your chair. I know. Fucking give me a little push. There we go. Feel your muscles. Okay, take a breath so your hand moves as you breathe in. Put your hand here. All right, let's get to work. What are we doing today? So implicitly, explicitly, I'm upregulating him. Does that make sense? Most people don't need that. Most people come stressed and they need down-regulating. Sometimes people come exhausting. They need me to kind of give them a little more. Does it make sense? Okay, so what are we doing? We're getting client in a state that's more likely to come up with a better result. Yeah, it doesn't guarantee it, but it gets his brain working, if nothing else. Yeah, I'm using my observation. I'm using my empathy. Like, hey, do I feel like depressed just looking at him? Yeah. It's not to say you always have to do this, because we could go into that. We could go, wow, you seem really angry. Let's talk about that. Or, wow, you look really depressed. Like, what's going on? We could really lean into that. Often, though, it's not helpful if I see states of, too down or too upregulated. You can do this multiple times. I could say, let's use a real example, Jeffrey, because you can take this into the next exercise. So, what's something you'd like to work on today?
Yeah, the distinction that we were talking earlier about self-doubt versus humility when doing something new, that I feel like I might question myself more than is helpful, because I have to do a lot of new things with niching.
All right, great. So this is typical. He's telling me a topic, but it's not really a goal, okay? And it's quite long, So problem with a long kind of topic is that people get lose that, right? So we can often make things more concise. Now I could do that for him just by paraphrasing back and checking in, or we could do it centering because his version's probably going to be more aligned, right? So all right, take a quick breath. Tell me in one breath, what would you like?
How to embody confidence while exploring something new.
Okay, great. See, it's already much clearer, right? Now, some of this is just iteration, but we're using relaxation with iteration. So we can even do one more time. That's already much better than before. Coaches, you agree? It's like, yeah, I could work with that much easier. So even one more time, one more breath. Think of someone who makes you smile. Say ah. And then what's an even better way of saying that?
I would like to be more comfortable in new situations.
Okay, great. So now you see how we're like dropping in already? I haven't done anything yet. He's already done half the work I need to do for this coaching session. Yeah? Okay, cool. So that's what I'd like to do with practice client. Use a real example. Don't pick something that's like super traumatic, stressful, but do pick something real. This feels kind of like a good level, yeah? And we're going to use that example later on. So the first thing we're going to do, we're not going to try and solve the problem. We're just going to use centering 2 or 3 times to see if we can make the problem deeper, clearer, more accurate. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, thank you, Jeffrey.